happen. Wait for it.
Hoo-yah! Hello, hello. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Is there anybody there? Where are you? Let's be having you. Right, the chat is ready to display messages. Botrix, join. Actually, best make sure that this is actually working, actually. Yeah, we're logged in. Come on, Botrix, get your act together. Mandy, hello, how you doing? You okay? How's Ting and Ting? You doing alright? Your fingers melting because you're knitting. I still haven't woken Botrix up. Can hear and see me, or see and hear even. Thank you very much. Saf, how you doing, mate? How's things? You okay, bud? Come on, Botrix, we know you're there. Get your ass into gear. It is ridiculously warm in here again tonight. Warm as balls. Hopefully spring is not that far away, so I'll be able to turn the radiator off. I won't need it for night. And then I'll be nice and cool down this end of the room at least. Gingers crossed. Speaking of cool, again, hopefully my camera holds out tonight. I have bought a little cooling fan for it. Can't show you because it's on the back of the camera, but that's what it looks like. It's a little thing like that. USB charged. It lasts about an hour, but I've got it plugged in on permanent charge to a battery pack at the moment. And that acts as a fan on the back of the camera, which hopefully should keep it cool enough not to explode. But if need be, I've got my other camera there as a backup just in case. Swirly in the alcove, yep. That can also, of course, that can be changed in the background. It can just be red. It can just be blue. It can be red, blue and green. It can be red and green. Blue and green. But yeah, there we go. Put it back to that one, it's the nearest to purple. Southport is fabulous. Miserable and wet, but fabulous. My camera has an only fan, definitely. Hopefully it starts making pure bank, bro. Rainy on and off in Rill as well. Not surprised, you're only down the road, across the bay. I had to go out earlier on. My car went in to be fixed yesterday. And then a couple of things have happened which meant it wasn't ready yesterday. It was going to be ready today. Then a couple more things have happened, so it's not going to be ready today, it's going to be ready tomorrow. I thought it was alright. Apparently not. There should be an engine management light on, but whoever had the car before me removed the bulb. Fucker. So that's getting fixed, which is why it's going to be tomorrow morning, I think, by the look of it. So I had to walk to the doctor's. It's only across the road, thankfully. And go and have an asthma type review, which was alright. I was out of breath by the time I got home, though. That's how bad things are. But that's done and dusted. Hurtfully, the car will be fixed tomorrow, so I can pick that up. I haven't seen my daughter since yesterday morning, so I'm gutted with that. Yes, red is very Jeffy. Purple, I think I prefer the purple at the moment. Red makes it look a little bit too Amsterdam-y, doesn't it? Yeah, gutted, but that's stupid. I've only had the car for, well, 10 months. Um, I was without it for ages, but all of a sudden, not having it, it just feels like my legs have been cut off. It's ridiculous. If I wanted to go to shops, I can't because it's too far to walk. I need a lift off someone, and I don't want to go down that route again. Thankfully, my mum picked my daughter up this morning and took her to placement, and she will do again in the morning. And then fingers crossed I'll be able to pick her up in the afternoon, hopefully. And yes, I got some steps in. Was it today or yesterday? I hit my target. Let's have a look. It's today, obviously. Yesterday I did 1,522 steps in total all day, which is embarrassing. And I've got 2,500 so far today already. I've had 2 days off work and I've done absolutely nothing whatsoever. All the little things I thought I might do, I've not been able to. Even knowing that the car wasn't here, I was sat on the sofa earlier and I thought, do you know what? While I'm waiting for my car to be fixed, I'll go into town and buy some more vinyl. No, but I'd need my car to do that. Fucking idiot. So yeah. It's not a Lancashire cap. It isn't. Lancashire would be red, and I don't do red, obviously. It's an LA Dodgers baseball cap. This, of course, goes back to 1980. I have been following the Dodgers since 1980. We went on holiday to Los Angeles and we were meeting up with a lot of expats who were friends of my dad. A lot of people from Dublin involved as well. So we went to a few barbecues at people's houses, and on one occasion the son of the family was about 2 or 3 years older than me. So me and him were hanging out, and he was watching LA Dodgers baseball. And of course, the colours, the blue is similar to Everton blue. And we watched the game and I loved it. So the Dodgers have been my team since 1980. So yeah. Only arrived a couple of days ago. Yeah, they're not really good. They can't effectively dodge you. Apart from the fact that they used to be the Brooklyn Dodgers and then they dodged the whole of Brooklyn and went to LA, completely the other side of the country. So I'd say they've done quite well on the dodging front, to be honest. And a lot of the batters have dodged being caught using steroids. I think. Perhaps, maybe. Right. Wonder why. Right, I think my camera's alright and OBS is alright so far. Now YouTube is having a bit of a fit. My current bitrate is higher than the recommended bitrate. Why? If I use that, then it's going to be like watching on a potato. Not doing that. 2,500 kilobytes per second. I'm using 6,000, which I thought was alright. Fucked them. Yes, MK Dons, exactly. Although I suppose in the good old US of A, having sporting franchises is just a normal thing for them, so they're used to it. I don't understand how that works. How can you have any attachment to something that's not from where you are? Unless there's some spectacular, either your family are from wherever it is you support, or I know people who support football teams because they were watching the FA Cup one year and that particular team were on and they like the kit or something, but they've stuck with them for 30 odd years. I think, well, fair enough, you've earned the right, but yeah, I just don't get it in America. if you follow a team that were in LA that are now in Las Vegas and they might go to Boston next week, how are you supposed to get any kind of connection with that team? It's ridiculous. But it works for them, obviously, so who am I to judge? Who am I to judge? I'll tell you exactly who I am to judge. I'm me, Judge, Judy and Executioner. And apparently not many people think that I am the power behind the PMA throne, by the way. Did a community post. So far, Jeff is winning. People think Jeff is the actual power behind this channel. Again, I'm not going to argue with him, obviously, you know what I mean? You can get a little bit tasty. Know what I mean, bruv? A bit fucking tasty. You're having problems trying to get me on your TV. When you say on your TV, you mean on screen? It's not you, it's me. Fair enough. It's not you, it's me TV. The majority of people, support Everton or Liverpool because one year they played in the FA Cup final and it was the first time it was broadcast live there. So that would have been 1986 or 1989. We played them twice in 3 years in the FA Cup final. 86, that was great because the Welshman scored in the winner. That would be Ian Rush, of course. Yep. Sounds like 89, that one. Yeah, with the 86, all the fans there was no segregation, we were all in together. And because the Tory government were trying to put the city of Liverpool into managed decline, they were all singing Merseyside together, and it was such a powerful thing. Then 89, the FA Cup final was a month after the Hillsborough disaster, in which, 97 Liverpool fans now lost their lives that day. So it was an absolute loss, to be honest. A lot of people said the FA Cup final shouldn't have been played that year because of what happened, but I think it should have been because it was a bit of not a celebration, it was a point to be proved that these people didn't lose their lives and then were just forgotten about. It was a celebration of their lives more than anything else. So, but for an Everton fan and as an Everton team, we couldn't have won that. No matter what happened, we couldn't have won. I remember speaking to people that were at the other semi-final that day at Villa Park against Luton. No, sorry, not Luton, Norwich. Who said that when they come out of the stadium, everyone was buzzing, and then as the news started to filter through, this is before mobile phones, of course, as the news started coming through and people started realising what had happened, the mood just dropped completely. And they said when they got off the trains at Lime Street and just walked out into the streets, you knew something absolutely abysmal had happened. So yeah, the shine would have been taken off that no matter what happened. And it's probably fitting that Liverpool won the cup that year. But again, the whole Hillsborough thing that happened, it could have happened to Everton just for the toss of a coin. We ended up at Villa Park and they ended up at Hillsborough. And it would have been exactly the same. A stadium that wasn't fit for purpose with a police force that has never been fit for purpose. And then the establishment have tried to brush it under the carpet for decades until they got justice. Shower of bastards. Yes, a Welshman with a distinguished moustache. He was very mustachioed. He ended up playing for Newcastle as well, Leeds and Newcastle. And Juventus. And he went to Juventus in Italy and said it was like a foreign country. And someone pointed out to him it wasn't a fucking foreign country. And when he scored for Newcastle at Goodison Park, someone shouted very loudly, "Fuck off, Rush, you Postman Pat lookalike, scare the kids bastard." Which you have to admit, there's a lot going on in that particular shout. There's Bot. Do you mean Botrix or are you stripping Mandy? Even you've heard of him, of course you will. From North Wales. Welsh footballing legend, not just a Welsh footballing legend, a Welsh legend. Same as Neville Southall. They transcended the sport. And he grew up as an Everton fan and ended up playing for Liverpool, the same as Michael Owen and Robbie Fowler and all them lot. We could have won about another 300 leagues if it wasn't for people pissing off to go and play for the ungodly across the park. Lovely cap of splosh. Who? Neville Southall from Llandudno. The bin man. Best goalkeeper in the world. Fancy, what a man, what a man, what a man. Joke. Sorry, I didn't realise you was joking, isn't it? I parked my bike outside a shop. When I come out, there it was. Gone. Fabulous. You don't even talk like that, do you? In North Wales. Try telling Gary Bailey that Neville was by far the best keeper in the world. For me, the best that's ever been. During that mid-80s, there was no one on the planet that could even come close. There's highly rated professional footballers who were in awe of the stuff that he was doing. Pat Nevin, who ended up playing for Everton, said during training you'd have to go in for like one-on-one finishing with Neville, and he'd run out and wouldn't use his hands, and you still wouldn't get the ball past him. And the amount of times training just stopped because he'd done something absolutely out of this world. He said for Neville, the extraordinary was the regular, it was the daily. That's just incredible. My dad played against Gary Bailey on several occasions at Old Trafford and at Ayresome Park. I know, Mandy, you don't sound like that. Nobody in North Wales will sound like that. There's more of a Scouse twang to the North Wales coast because of all the ex-Scousers living there who've had kids, and they retain that little bit of a twang. Or that's what North Wales sounds like, and then Scousers sound like that because of North Wales. Who knows? Which way around it could have been, I don't know. Could be either. Good keeper Gary Bailey. In fact, I think there's a picture of my dad somewhere in the house against Man United. Sure, Gary Bailey's in it. There's also one of him and Steve Coppell. We nicht your accents. Typical Scousers, like nicking all kinds. Just going to North Wales on the Rob. What did you get? Fucking accent, lad. Yes, and I don't sound like that either. Much to the disappointment of people all round the country. I say, you're from Liverpool. Could you say chicken and a can of Coke, please? Yeah, of course. Chicken and a can of Coke. But you don't sound like Jimmy Carr, I know. He's from fucking London, I'm not. Balance. It's not nice doing that. Although, if you've got any mates who are from Dublin or Glasgow, get them to say curly whirly. It is fantastic. Or anywhere in the south of Ireland. We'll have to get Ali, see if she'll say it. I keep getting a suggestion every minute to lower the bitrate on YouTube. Why? I need to find out why. Jimmy Carr's not human, is he? He's a bit like a ventriloquist dummy that gained sentience, who came to life. Right, I'm trying to put in YouTube max bitrate, and because we've been talking about Welsh people, the top thing is YouTube max voice. Isn't that freaky deaky? Right. This is telling me to drop down from 6,000 kilobytes per second to 2,500 kilobytes per second. YouTube, on the other hand, has a maximum bitrate of 85,000 kilobytes per second. Why the bleeding hell do you need me to drop down? Or is it saying that's 720? This should be 720p. What a load of shit. It confuses the hell out of visitors. They think Rill is full of scousers. It used to be. Genuinely used to be. Going to Rill Sun Centre to cop off with those northern Welsh girls. You want to see Jimmy and Big Nasty have a child together? Comedy gold. Yep. I'll see the results. I don't particularly want to see the conception. You've met him, he's lovely. Max, not Jimmy. Yes, I assumed that one. I've heard that before. People have said that he's a nice fella, Max Boyce. Is he still around? I don't want to put him in the grave if he's still around. For fuck's sake. And now that I'm looking for Max Boyce, what comes up? Max streaming. Just no fucking... Oh. He is still alive. Maxwell Boyce. That's a proper Welsh name, isn't it? Max Boyce isn't, but Maxwell Boyce. It's got a proper Welsh ring to it. From Gleneath, Glamorgan. Oh. Ah well, if you're a decent person in show business, you are in the minority, I would have thought. So fair play Maxie, if you're watching. Maxie the Ledge, if you're watching. Fair play to you, lad. Must have been nice for you, Mandy, meeting a 70s TV legend that wasn't an absolute turbo nonce. Keep chatting to earn points, isn't it? My English teacher at school was Welsh. Welsh. And it had to be heard to be believed. Shakespeare in a Welsh accent, in a Valleys Welsh accent, has to be heard. You still can't get me on TV, I know. We're trying hard, They won't have me. That's why I'm on YouTube, TV won't have me. And let's face it, I'd be brilliant on something like The Word, wouldn't I? Like Terry Christian, or Ture Christian. Tonight on The Word, our ufte is talking to Liam Gallagher. What a heap of shit that programme was, and yet we used to watch it all the time. Nowadays that wouldn't last 5 minutes, would it? Because no one would watch it, everyone would be on the phones watching YouTube. Because now the stuff that you want to get, you can get yourself. You don't need to sit around at 2 o'clock in the morning hoping that something's on. Like the old days. Mandy, you mightn't remember this because I remember it being on... what was the Welsh ITV? It was a Harlech. Prisoner Cell Block H used to be on Granada at about 1 o'clock in the morning, and then a completely separate version of it used to be on about 2:30 in the morning on Welsh ITV. Adam, how you doing, mate? You closing the charcoal coffee company? Man, how come? That's a shame, bud. Is it not working out? The channel will live on. Long live the channel. Gutted, mate. In that case, you heard it here first. Charcoal Coffee Company. Buy everything they've got left, because if you don't, there will be nothing left. Link, description, etc. If you're in the UK. Get it while it's still there. And Adam, get roasting as much as you can, because You need to get out the door, man. Sorry to hear that. Saf, you saw a thing on Reddit. Someone asked a genuine question. They asked how they go about getting the people from YouTube to come around and record them. Yeah. Do they think it's like a Gogglebox, where you sat in the house and someone films you? Yeah, it doesn't work that way. Yeah, alright. Difficult to spend, or get them to spend decent money on decent coffee without having a huge marketing budget. I know the quality's there, definitely. And coffee is something that people will pay a little bit extra for the quality. Not everything. Obviously, some people are absolute minge bags when it comes to stuff, but coffee seems to be that thing that people will spend on. So, yeah, but you need to get that word out there, don't you? That's the only problem. I'm sorry to hear that, mate. We hope to share in your reflected glory when you went global. When you bought out Starbucks and actually increased the quality of everything in there. No worries, Adam. Spend time with your wife. Much better than spending time with us, mate. Seriously. Maybe see you later. Oh, it's sad that. Good quality stuff as well. I mean, I've got stuff in the a little bit left in the cupboard. Absolutely gorgeous coffee. Better than anything you're going to find in any supermarket or any coffee shop you go to. Oh, what a ball like. Oh, well, lottery tonight anyway, so maybe if the numbers come in, we can absolutely hammer the advertising for Adam. Get him all over the place. On buses. On TV. Get some quality stuff out there for people. I have to keep my mug safe then. Become limited edition them now. Sure, there's someone skateboarding out there tonight. Dark, it's raining. Very strange. What's the lotto prize tonight? Let's have a butcher's. Tonight's draw is just, it's not on there now. Just come up with a message saying you missed tonight's draw. Yes, I know. Yes, 110 million for Euro Millions on Friday. Oh well, I don't know. 110 million would be nice, wouldn't it? I don't want all of it. Just a bit of it'll do me. As Del Boy says in Only Fools, I just want a halfpenny more than I can spend. $250 million South African rand. I'd move to South Africa just to say I'm a $250 million. I think, what was the biggest prizes in the UK have all been Euro Millions. I think the biggest one's £160 million. I'm sure there was something the other day, the top 10 UK lottery winners, and the number one was 160 million. I think the top 8 or something were over 100 million. Mad. You'd be able to help a lot of people with that. You know, if you had big families or you had loads of mates, everyone would be able to get right in there. or you'd buy the entire road or something, depending on where you lived. If we don't want all of it, you'll have what I don't. Alright man, deal. Unless I win all of it, at which point I'll send you the £5. That's the bit I don't want. I don't want to be greedy. If it means, I'll settle. I'll be happy with a sliver of it. Enough to help me retire would do. I thought I was doing alright today. I won, over the last couple of days, I won about 150 quid on the horses on Cheltenham. But I think my car's going to cost me, well, it was going to be £1,000. I think it's to be close to about £2,000 by the time he's finished. So I need every penny I can get, really. I need me car, man. I need me car. It's probably not even economically viable to spend what I'm spending on it, but it wouldn't be worth it if I was selling it. It'd be cheaper just to scrap the thing, but for me it's worth it. It's my car, I love it. It's 2.6 billion. Oof. Yeah, buy that and bounce around South Africa. Being a slumdog billionaire. I've come from nothing and look where I am now. This time next year, others will be billionaires. I'm buffering. It must be you, Mandy. I think I'm alright. I think. Buy me a garage card. No fuel issues for the rest of the car's life. Brilliant. Always thought of that as well, funnily enough. And just give a fuel card to all your family. It's on me. Just fill up whenever you feel like. Anyway, I've got lottery on tonight and also for Friday, so you never know. If you see me here on Sunday and I'm wearing a pastel pink zoot suit and I've got a pimp cane, you know what's happened. Or a yarn shop for Mandy. Walk in, take what you want, and they send them the bill. That's what you want to see. Plus, maybe, I don't know, an oiled Puerto Rican boy to roll up the balls for her. We could go to that for you, Mandy. An oiled Puerto Rican boy named Jefe. Which I know means chief, but you know. You don't play the lottery. Ah, well. You won't look at other people winning thinking you jammy bastards. Mandy's doing Homer Simpson impressions. Who else do you do? And a self-replenishing cabinet filled with Tia Maria. Now you are talking. That'll keep you going, Mandy. Yep. Keep it coming. Ah, Bach. Did you know that the teddy bear from MASH got auctioned off for charity? And Gary Berghoff, who played Radar, bought it. So Radar owns Radar's bear. I think, if I remember rightly, Alan Alda's boots got auctioned off as well. And those boots apparently were original, proper war boots. And he wore them through the entire 11 series. Did you also know, just coming close for this one, Gary Berghoff, who played Radar, was despised by the rest of the cast. They didn't like him at all. Very moody, liable to go off on one. He was getting divorced while filming one of the series, which I suppose could be an excuse, but none of them liked him. And yet the people that you think would be the most hated weren't. Alan Alda. You think, well, he's always wanting to be the centre of attention. Couldn't be further from the truth. Everyone loves him. Very giving. They just realised that that particular character was becoming very, very popular, so you could hang the whole series on him. Which they didn't really, did they? There was about 6 main characters that the show revolved around. Because he was the fan favourite. Yep. There you go. Oh, Saf, now you are talking my language, mate. Yeah, just burned Liverpool merchandise. Apart from that, the reason for buying all the Liverpool merchandise and burning it would then give them more money to spend in the transfer market. Bastards. His house nearly burned down. He wanted to spend more time with his family. He did, but it was also, he went through a divorce and he was really nasty with the people around him. So when he left, there weren't the same amount of tears that there were when McLean Stevenson and Wayne Rogers left. There's some good MASH facts available on that there internet there. Some really good stuff and some good interviews with people as well. Mobile Army Surgical Hospital, yes. I was wearing that t-shirt, wasn't I, on Sunday. Probably could have had this conversation then. I would have looked great, but instead I'm wearing the Ninja Lucian. Oh man, this fucking thing won't stop tremoring. Because I'm tired. Not just hitting me steps, was generally I had to get up early to make sure that my mum had gone to take Jess to placement and to listen out in case the phone call went. And I didn't have a nap because I also then had to go and have me medical appointment, and then come back home and wait to hear if there's anything else about the car. So no naps. Actors' names mean nothing to you. Yep. McLean Stevenson was Colonel Henry Blake, the one who was there before Sherman T. Potter, and Wayne Rogers was Trapper John, the one before BJ. Used to come on at 9:30 PM on a Sunday, and your brother would let you watch it with him. Ah, it's nice that. I don't even know where I watched it. I don't know if it was Middlesbrough. I don't know if it was Enschede, and I don't know. Was it the Netherlands? I don't know. Some of it must have been there, or whether it was when we came back to England. I really don't know, but I remember watching it. And then when I started watching it, when it was on great TV over here, a lot of it seemed familiar, but not everything seemed completely familiar. So it was like watching a brand new show for me. Charles is your favourite. He's brilliant, Charles. David Ogden Stiers absolutely despised the show by the end of it because he was getting typecast. He referred to it as the 4-letter word. He would never refer to it by the name. Absolutely hated what it had become and what it meant for him as an actor, which is why he ended up, I think, just falling into music again. He became a conductor with the Boston Symphony Orchestra. He conducted them a few times. He was genuinely into his classical music. Hawkeye was most people's favourite. I think he's mine as well. Just because of a lot of the depth, sort of the profound bits in the show. he tends to be the moral compass, which I think was brilliant because he ended up being the moral compass when he started off being completely immoral, chasing girls all the time, and everything that he could do wrong, he would do wrong. By the end of it, he was still not 100% crystal clear, clean, whatever, but he was sort of the one that was constantly trying to do things the right way. So it's a fantastic show, very nuanced for its time, definitely. Way ahead of the game. And you can see there must be a lot of people who wrote sitcoms in the 80s and 90s were heavily influenced by it. Kirsty, how you doing? Played the same character in Stargate Atlantis. We're talking about Charles. Yeah, it was first a movie, then got turned into a TV show. It was a book before that as well. The movie got made on the back of the book being written, which was a lot more dirty and gritty and not as, I don't want to say not as funny because it was funny, but not as comedic. It was more, this is what actually happened, and there's a lot of gallows humour in it because of what happened. Which is why if you watch the film after watching the series, it seems completely different. It's still funny, but it's really, really hard-edged. Brilliant though. I've got the film, I think, on me classic streaming. That thing where I buy films occasionally, just to make sure that no matter if they come on to Netflix and go off or something, I've still got them. Yep, I have indeed. There you go, Mashla. The film. Mandy, you've not seen the film? Yeah. It's very, very interesting. It must be available somewhere. Definitely worth watching. And it's funny as well. Hot Lips Houlihan was played by Sally Kelleher, not Loretta Swit. And they look ridiculously similar to each other. Especially as they've got older. They became really good close friends, apparently. When you see them, some of the pictures later on in the years, they definitely look like sisters. It's mad. Theme tune has an interesting name. It's also got an interesting story behind it. I think wasn't it written by, or the words were written by the 15-year-old son of the composer, which is why it's got that little bit of a sort of naivety about it that possibly a lot of film composers wouldn't have. I remember Manic Street Preachers doing a cover version of it back in the 90s? Yeah, it would have been the 90s. So it's not very often on Top of the Pops you will have a song with that particular title or that subject matter. Was he even that old? Sure he was. We'll have a quick look and see what the story is behind it. I remember hearing about it years ago. By Johnny Mandel. People also ask, why is the MASH theme so sad? It's fucking called Suicide is Painless. You know what I mean? Right, here we go. Yep, there you go. The director, of MASH was Robert Altman. His 15-year-old son Michael, wrote the lyrics in 5 minutes. So there you go. Um, Robert Altman had two stipulations about the song for the composer Johnny Mandel. It had to be called Suicide is Painless, and it had to be the stupidest song ever written because it was to be in the film. It was supposed to deliberately be a strange bit of a scene. Altman attempted to write the lyric himself, but upon finding it too difficult for his 45-year-old brain to write something stupid enough, he gave the task to his 15-year-old son Michael, who reportedly wrote the lyrics in 5 minutes. Altman said that while he only made $70,000 for directing the movie, his son had earned more than $1 million for co-writing the song. How's about that then? Yep. 70 grand for directing a Hollywood movie and your son's taking home $1 million. Right in his back bin. Mad thing, fam, mad thing. So it wasn't the composer's son, it was the director's son. Yeah, 50. Well, this is according to Wikipedia, of course, which, as we all know, is not 100% accurate. The one thing that is 100% accurate about Wikipedia is that it is not 100% accurate. I can be 100% sure of that. Give or take a point. But interesting stuff like that, you know. It is one of those songs where, I don't know, for me it just appeared. I can't remember it being the MASH theme tune until years later, but I remember the song. Why? And it's always been in the consciousness. And then it was written by a 15-year-old. Nepotism backfiring spectacularly. Unless the son ended up buying his dad. Mind you, his dad's a Hollywood director and directed quite a lot of films, so I think he'd have made a few quid as well, but yeah. Son, can you do me a favour? Yeah, Dad. Where's me cash? He's probably thinking, I'll just buy him a bike or something, and he'd be happy with that. Yeah. $1 million later. Thank you very much. I clicked on the analytics tab on YouTube because I'm sick of seeing the bit rate is too high. Fuck off, it's not. I've lowered it down. OBS wanted to send stuff out at 10,000 kbps. Never mind 6,000. You're whinging them at 2.5. Wankers. Did the nepotism backfire, or did it actually work? And probably for one of the first times, it's nepotism, but he's ended up with the talent to back it up. Not everyone did. I think that's why my dad never pushed me to go into football. Didn't want that idea of him trying to force me and also to try and live up to a name, a surname. I was good enough. I could have been a contender. Did the father have financial control until the son was 21? It is the United States, but I think I've got a feeling that his dad was a fairly laid back kind of character when it comes to stuff like that. Plus, they're all making money. I think he'd been alright, wouldn't he? Go ahead, lad. Go and help yourself. But you never know. You're off. No worries, Kirsty. Love to see you as always. Bizzle, as the kids are saying these days. Or is it Bizzle and Ting? Apparently now I can sound like the pros. Nah, you're alright. This is the problem when they give you free software. You then want you to upgrade to all kinds of paid stuff. Nah, not happening, boys. Not happening. I never got round to even trying to do some music. I meant to do that the last couple of days because I've been sat at home doing nothing. I never got round to it. What an absolute bell. You give up trying to get me on TV. Fair enough. It's not easy. It's not easy. I appreciate the effort. Genuinely, thank you, Mandy. Newsflash. You picked up the bass and started mutilating your fingers again. Lovely, lovely, lovely to hear. More music in the world. Just don't ruin them for doing etching. I can't wait to be able to pick my guitar up. You've even turned the TV on and off again. Very IT crowd of you. Have you tried forcing an unexpected reboot? Yeah. I presume one of my mates in work had that conversation with the IT fellas once. It started with hello, followed by, if you tell me to switch it off and on again, I'm going to come round there and stick this right up your fucking ass. Anyway, 10 minutes later, the IT fella turned up and fixed it for him. That's how you get the job done. Threaten physical violence. And if anyone's feeling sorry for the IT people, it's Fujitsu, the people who are responsible for the Horizon scandal. So don't feel sorry for them at all. Don't worry, Manzi. I'll be on television one day. Probably cry much. Right, the restream chat's hung again, so let's have a look on the actual screen. The actual screen, actual screen. Thought you were talking about fish, of course, bass. Big mouth bass. You still need to get your marine fish. Get on them. The whole Fujitsu saga in 30 seconds. They are a useless company who have got friends in high places, and they provided a service that has ended up doing things by itself, making sub-postmasters look like they were trying to steal loads of money. And people have ended up getting threatened with court and getting fines and getting sacked and all kinds of stuff. And it wasn't their fault, their problems. It was a computer error, because Fujitsu had cheaped out on what it was supposed to be doing. I think that's the overall gist. I think I've seen someone getting interviewed. They said they had someone come round when they were talking about there being a problem with the IT. No, you're taking the piss. It doesn't work that way at all. We know it's stable. And he went, look, this is what I do normally. And as he was doing it, all these digits started changing on the screen in front of them. He went, look, this is what we said. And even then, seeing it happen in front of their eyes, they still didn't believe them. So people ended up still getting put in jail and stuff like that. It went very rogue, Saf, very, very rogue. And cost a lot of people their livelihoods, their homes, their sanity, and in a couple of people's cases, their lives. There was even an ITV mini-series about it, which after the whole of the UK watched that, they suddenly had to act because people realised what had gone on. At that point, everything changed. Yeah, I do wonder how many other companies use the same system. Don't know about that particular system, the Horizon one, but I know Fujitsu are a trusted supplier to the government. For some reason, I don't know what that reason might be. But yes, they are definitely, they've got their tentacles into the civil service on a large basis according to the reports that you will see, fiscal reports and contracts and things. No, not just the post office. Wherever there's money involved, they will get in there like swimwear. All about the Dwayne Eddies. Capitalism for you. It's great that so many people think capitalism's the way forward, when it's obviously quite not. It doesn't work. When your whole system is built around spend as little as possible and make as much profit as possible, you can't give anything back to the company. You can't, you can't put anything back into the whole system, the ecosystem that you're building. There's no investment into the infrastructure. There's no investment in the future. It's all just spend as little as possible, give as much to the shareholders as possible. Which is why the railways in this country are a joke. The waterways are a disgrace. Everything that's been privatised has been proven to not work anymore. And yet if you talk about renationalising things, no, shouldn't be doing that. Bloody socialists, communists, fecking idiots. They might as well have used TikTok to run the post office. TikTok would have run it better. But the Chinese government would have then known absolutely everything about us. That being one of the issues. Apple are no better with their particular, what do you want to call it, relationship with the Chinese government. Handed over absolutely everything to them, which they really shouldn't have done. Yeah, but as soon as you say to them you have to start using a USB-C charger, you're out of order. The European Union saying, no, you need to do this, and you need to allow other apps to be on your system. You're disgraceful, European Union, you're disgraceful. On the other hand, here China, have every last little bit of data that you want. Yet, worst part of the fact, they were denying it. That it was happening to hundreds of people, despite the fact that you could see it was happening. Everyone knew it was happening. The denial just seems to be a thing there at the moment. I know politicians have lied since time immemorial, but this last sort of tranche, the last 5 years or so, they can't tell the truth. They're absolutely incapable of telling the truth at all. This side or the other side of the Atlantic, it's the same. Just it seems to be, if they tell the truth, letting themselves down in some way, admitting defeat. Just say that we tried something that didn't work, we apologise, but we had to try it to see that it didn't work. Alright, fair enough. But no, we didn't do that. We just watched you do it. No, we didn't do that. Just watched you fucking do it. Huawei, a trusted company. I think they were untrusted, weren't they, for a long time. People were worrying. How are we? Is also a Scouse greeting, of course. I don't know if they're trusted or not. There was definitely a couple of years ago, there was all kinds of problems going through the Parliament about whether or not they should be trusted, because I'm sure they were brought into UK government to do something, and a lot of people didn't seem happy with it. I don't know if that's just gone away, but yeah, they don't seem to be mentioned these days, so I'm presuming nowadays they're either trusted or completely untrusted and we don't do business with them. Yeah, every individual was told it's only you that's having a problem, so it must be you. When you're telling 100 people that it's just you that's having a problem, it's not just a you problem, it's an all of you problem. Ali, how you doing? How's things? Slanjivar. Yep. See, everything looks great now, does it? Apart from this, obviously. Thank you. Hopefully it works. I've got a fan on the back of my camera. Showed this earlier on. Just that little thing, that little fan, goes on the back of my camera and keeps it cool enough that it doesn't melt. Gingers crossed. and hopefully it sounds okay. It's looking alright. What different lights in the background? Should we change that up a little bit? There we go. A little bit of under the sea action for you. No idea why the moon is under the sea, but you know, there we go. You weren't going to say that. Ugh, including me. Oh man. I'll send you some Specsavers vouchers. On account of me having a face like a leper's ball bag. Yeah, how's the training coming along, Ali? How you doing? How's your sofa to 300k coming along? I've got it the other way around me, haven't I? I've got the 5k to sofa, where I'll drive around Southport for 10 minutes and then come home. Yeah, look good behind your fish, it would. I bought, when did I buy that? About a year and a half ago, maybe. It must have been after I come out of hospital. Must have been. I bought it then, anyway. So I've had it well over a year, and I put that on every single night without fail. And it's so chilled, nice and relaxed. Put a bit of ambient music. The Orb, Aphex Twin, something like that. Just have that going on the ceiling. You can add stars. So your little green stars. Looks better when it's pointing upwards at the ceiling. Very nice. Ali, your official training of this course finished this evening, but the lady asked you to join the advanced class till the 14th of April when the 5k is on. Is right. You're a machine, lad. You're a machine. Duck, Jeff. Is he telling people to duck, or is he swearing but he's got a cold? I can't work it out. You joined this evening. It was tough going, but sure, look, I'm still standing. Don't know why I came out as Northern Ireland yet again. I've been watching something to do with Northern Ireland today, haven't I? That's what it is. What duck? Are you from Mansfield? Or out my duck? As soon as how Jeff's just been mentioned, I think I should try and push fucking buttons, Jeff. Allow me to push buttons. Some tales from the crypt with Jeff. Let's see what's going on. I'm only trying to bulldoze a children's hospital. Fuck off, Swampy. Yeah, I don't think I'll be trying to protest against that, to be honest. Evil Knievel, try absolute dickheady kid here. Next level. Looks like he's having fun there, though. Have you noticed that white guys go grey when you slit their throats? What's that all about? You've been a great audience. Try the veal. Oh, we've been doing stand-up, has he? Hoo-yah! Who in the right mind is going to watch Jeff do stand-up? Is he trying to be Seinfeldy? Terrible, terrible stuff. Yeah, keep those leggies moving. 9 minutes a kilometre or 3 minutes a kilometre. A kilometre is a kilometre. Absolutely 100%. And of course, the famous phrase that goes, even the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. Which is 100% right. Small gains, and all of a sudden, massive. Yeah, Mandy, yeah. It's Paddy's weekend. So, Wahoo Bank Holiday Monday. Happy days. Yep. I think on Paddy's Day, what we're going to have to do, aren't we, is have that in the background. Just the green, I think I'll do that on Paddy's night. I am not having a foam Guinness hat, right? Just letting you know now. As much as I love my Irish peeps, Liverpool is an absolute show on Paddy's Day. Knobheads wandering around with those big Guinness pint foam hats on, desperately asking for blackcurrant because they don't like the taste of Guinness. Fuck, you don't drink it. Don't drink it on that one day if you don't drink it during the year. Saf, you were once told you pay full price to enter the race, use all the time you are afforded and get maximum value. Yep. Exactly, absolutely 100% right. Get the benefit. You need to get the benefit if you're paying for it. And don't do what other people tell you to. If someone else can run it in 35 seconds, good on them. Doesn't mean you have to. Yeah, anything special planned, Ali? Anything good? Ready to go? You did that 6 times, you did 4 minutes at 10k pace. Are you feeling the benefit from it? Do you feel healthier as a result? I know I did, playing five-a-side footy. A couple of times I was out for a good few months with injuries, and then just coming back and playing, I always felt 100% better for doing it. And always feel better for feeling fit, which I haven't done for a while now. Over 4 years, in fact. Hate that. Just going to chill at home. Well, fair play to you. Jinxie, how you doing? We'll ask the same question of you as well. Our northern correspondent. Are you doing anything special for Paddy's weekend? What have you got lined up? Or are you just going to be dancing to all that floodly oodly music? That's what you Irish do, isn't it? I know, I've seen yous when no one's looking, just bouncing around the kitchen, river dancing around the kitchen. Ali, when you were younger, you used to go to a parade that was in a town 15 to 20 minutes away. Right. Oh, in a parade on a tractor. I'd like to see that. Jackie, nothing special. Probably stew at a local pub. Is that the food, or are you going to stew and be miserable, or is there someone called Stuart that we don't know about? This is very important. We need to know this, because they're 3 completely different things. If you're going to sit there angry all night, that's one thing. If you're going to eat, that's another thing. And stew, that could be a big thing if you're lucky. We used to hate that particular day in the pub when we lived there. Like I said, we'd always have to buy loads of blackcurrant juice, blackcurrant cordial, because people would buy Guinness thinking it was the thing to do. Take the first sip and go, oh, I don't like this. Can I have some blackcurrant to put in it? Well, don't fucking order it then. Knobheads. Wouldn't go to your local parade. Yeah, very political and usually trouble. Yep. Steer well clear of that one. Eat, stew. Again, that's not mutually exclusive. Food, alright, fair enough. I remember when we first started working in our place. We've been there for about 3 months. No, actually, maybe 2 months. When Paddy's Day come round, and we had a problem with the water supply in the building. There was some kind of chemical got into the water, and we were told you need to go home. But alcohol is the antidote to what you've had in your system. So if you want to go and have a couple of drinks, it won't do you any harm. So the entire building just opened the doors about 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Paddy's Day and went next door into the pub. They were expecting it to be busy. I don't think they were expecting it to be that busy that early. We got absolutely wankered, every single one of us. It was amazing. I'm surprised I never got divorced on that particular night. I'll be going home. I sort of said to me ex-missus at the time, I'll be coming home soon. And then about 8 hours later, I turned up at the pub where she worked, absolutely wasted. It was terrible. What makes Guinness look so dark? It will be the barley is roasted and toasted longer, so it gives it a different, a slightly more bitter taste, and also a darker. If you have a look at the beer that you get in the rest of the world, like Budweiser and stuff like that, that's really light, very lightly toasted. If there's any malt, barley, and hops and stuff, the darker you start toasting things, the darker the beers look. So bitter is toasted longer. Guinness and porters and stouts and things, they're toasted for as long as they possibly can without it going too bitter. It's absolutely amazing. So I would think if you're going past the Guinness factory in Dublin, it would smell incredible. There was Inside the Factory was on, like Greg Wallace and Cherry Healey programme on BBC, and the factory that they went to was the Guinness factory in Dublin, and they showed you how they make it. Yeah, it's ruby, not black. If you hold it up to a light, it's a very, very dark red. But when you're not holding it directly up in front of a light in front of you like that, it looks black. It's definitely not. But it's if you can find it on the iPlayer, Inside the Factory Guinness on the iPlayer, it will be on there. It's fantastic, so fascinating. Oh, the paramilitaries usually walk in front of the parade with masks on and ruin it. Marvellous. Not like Ireland sticking up to its reputations. I mean, jeez. I say I've only been twice, and that was to Belfast, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Nothing, absolutely nothing like people tell you it'll be, at all. Even though I shit myself when I looked at the map to begin with. What was that? The Geordie's. It used to be the Geordie's Inn. And I had a look on the map of where we were. You are here, and then it said the Shankill Road, the Falls Road. Shit, they're literally just round the corner. And they were the things that I used to see on the TV, on the news, people getting blown up and stuff. But it was lovely. The people are fantastic. It just reminded me of Liverpool, to be honest. Yeah, completely different environments up in the north, isn't it? I still haven't made it to the south. I will do one day. Wouldn't mind getting my car over there and going for a drive. Do that little bit of a tour. Looks gorgeous. Here you get close to it at KFC, you smell it before you see it. Is it the same elsewhere? Yes, it is. It is 100%. And it's a weird smell as well, isn't it? I don't know if it's the herbs and spices that are in the coatings when they deep fry them, whether or not that makes a difference. But yeah, it's a horrible smell. My niece's boyfriend used to work in the KFC down by the front in Southport. He won't buy anything from there. Speaks volumes. Belfast Parade is legendary. It's really good. I would always tell people as well, go to Belfast. It's brilliant. People are absolutely amazing. Slightly tapped, slightly mental, you know. But it's probably why we got on with them so well. It was just like being back in Liverpool. It's great. Yeah, when you visit your friend in Dublin, you know when you're near it. Yeah, exactly, yeah. It's a unique smell. It's just our local parade, that's pure shite. Jackie, that's the most scouse thing I've read all night. Just our local parade, that's pure shite, la. Yep, how's Ramadan going for you so far, Saf? I know you're only a day into it, aren't you? Hang on, no. 2 days, sorry. Yours started on Tuesday, didn't it? And are you torturing yourself by talking about KFC? And are we torturing you talking about fucking Guinness and all kinds of stuff? Because we'll stop talking about that if we need to. Don't want you sitting there starving. Mind you, now it's fucking well after dark there, isn't it? Jesus. I'm losing the place completely. Are you managing all right though? Yeah, loads of Northern Ireland stag and hen do's go to Liverpool. They do. And we know this because on our way going over to Belfast, we had to go to work Monday to Friday. So we were going on the Sunday night. So all the stag and hen do's had been in on Friday and Saturday, and they were all absolutely wasted, hungover, false eyelashes stuck on up the top of the heads and all kinds of stuff. And then coming back home on the Friday, they were all coming over here to go to the next stag and hen do's. Brilliant, absolutely superb. And we see them all around town. They're always sound as well. There's some people that turn up for stag do's and hen do's and they're a bit moody. Even though Liverpool's a great place for it, the Irish, whether from north or south, are always great when they turn up over there. Probably because they've all got family over there as well, so they behave themselves. Going well, no issues that side. You broke your fast 4 hours ago, yes, of course. I mean, it's pitch black out there, and we're 2 hours behind you, or 4 hours, or 9 hours, whatever it is now. Yeah, that's very good. Definitely, Ali. It's good, that. Well done. How many days does it last? 2. Fucking many, I think. By the end of it, you must be thinking, oh, I've had enough of this shit. Sipping on some water and having a smoke. Well deserved, mate. As I said the other day, it's I'm not religious at all, and I wouldn't do anything like that. But if that's what you need to do to affirm your commitment to it, fair play to you. I think it's an amazing thing to do. A month, yeah. Starts at the crescent moon. If I'd have thought about that, have I got a crescent moony thing I can put up? What am I thinking? Does the moon change on this? No. I'm sure I've got a crescent moon somewhere. We could have started on a crescent moon and then worked it along all the time. For every stream, we could have had a different moon for you, but that's something I have to think about. Things like that, aren't I? We could have had you, yeah, we could have done it specifically for you, but yeah, never even thought of it because I'm such an ignorant tit. It's definitely some willpower. Hang on. Ah, yeah. Right, you are live on YouTube, so don't say fuck. Oh shit, I mean, sorry, yeah. Go on, what? Yes, I'm doing the live stream right now. When am I getting my car back? It is at some point. It is some point tomorrow, hopefully. It's not just the. Well, yeah, but no way I can do it tonight or tomorrow. Yes, your taxi will be back hopefully tomorrow. He said it was almost going to be done tonight, but you might need a little bit extra. Is that Jess? Yes, Mandy, it is Jess. She's currently doing a Birmingham accent down the phone at me. And she's playing guitar. I can hear that in the background. Uh, Grandad's messaged you. As Nan said, oh, she's going to pick it up in the morning as well, isn't she? Alright, Shmuel, as long as you know. Hello, stream. Jess says hello to you. Alright, piss off. I'm sick of talking to you now. Right, go on then. There you go, little guitar solo for everyone. Ali said hello. Mandy said hello. Yeah, everyone's saying hello to you, so, yep. It is sweet. Right, go on, piss off. I'll speak to you tomorrow. Alright, sound. Get home, your ma's got cake. I know, on toast. Alright, Bizzle. Bye. Sorry about that. Real life got in the way. She might jump on here at some point now. Now that she knows I'm live streaming. She knows that I do this twice a week at the same time. Wednesdays and Sundays. In saying that, I still forget sometimes anyway. What day it is. She wants a taxi back. What she's saying really is, I can get lifts off other people, but no one's as cool as you, Dad. She has arrived. There she is. Guitar hero. You were sounding rather good there, Jess. You were smashing it, lid. Proper, like Noel Gallagher in the area with your little bottle of Budweiser. Watch it and drink outside in the sunshine. So if you've got self-control issues when you're fasting, it trains your brain that acting on impulse is mostly a choice. You have the choice to oppose your impulses. Yes, you do. And it's only when you are forced not to do these things, like I was when I was in the hospital. You can't have a drink and you can't phone up a pizza or a Mackey's or something when you're in the hospital. So all of a sudden, after a couple of months, you come out and think, I don't really want these things. I don't need them at all. My brain is telling me that I do because it wants instant gratification when you don't need them. So you're 100% right there, Saf, yep. That control thing, it teaches you control. Exactly what you need. So Jess, did you miss me? Did you miss the Boss Tunes? DJ Dad in the house. Genuinely, there can be no one else who gives you lifts who plays the type of music that I do. I rock! A lot of the time, some of the training carries over beyond the month. Yeah, that's good stuff. Then it's making a positive change, making sure that you're staying as focused as you can do. Of course, always do. Correct answer. Good, yeah. I need to sort out another playlist though. And I need to start recording some more podcast episodes before the podcast finishes. Because they're just shite, man. You know what I mean? Spotify knobheads. You moan you try and do more charity than usual. That's good to see. Would you quit, old man? What? Harsh that la, Jinxie. His car is sick. It is sick at the moment. I thought it just needed some suspension components and maybe a little tinkering under the hood, or the bonnet as we call it. It needed a bit more than tinkering under the hood. It's needed... The suspension's fixed. Hopefully by tomorrow the engine will be fixed and it'll be purring like a kitten again. Hadwig, hoe gaat het met je? Alles goed? Yeah, I've missed my car. Just saying earlier on, Jess, I'm so used to it being outside that whenever I need anything, I can just jump in. If the phone rings, I can just jump in and pick it up and things like that. With it not being there for 2 days, I feel like my legs have been cut off. Not good. Not good at all. Sleeping at work tonight just made yourself comfortable. Good. As you should. You need to get chilled. You need to get a licence. You do. Well, Grandad's messaged you said, didn't you? So your next lesson should be soon. And before you know where you are, you are. You're past your test. You need your own car. You do. But don't forget, I need that kidney. With the amount I'm spending on my car, I could have bought you a car, to be honest. Pain in the arse. The car's a pain in the arse, not you. Well, you are as well, to be honest, Jess, but there you go. I've not got a bus pass, Jackie, not yet. I know I look old, but I'm not that old. I used to have a combined bus, train and ferry ticket, which was nice and cheap. But they stopped doing that because there was no call for it, despite the fact that everyone I know in our place used to have one. It's just more money, obviously. So now, if I do go into work, or when I did go into work, I would just drive to the train station and pay on the day because it's cheaper. Getting a season ticket for Merseyrail is prohibitively expensive. It's like buying a new car every year. Get a licence but use Dad's car, it's cheaper. Not a chance. She's getting a little shit box. She's not using the whip. Not a chance. What if you sell a kidney for insurance? Then you are out of the will. I only talk to you because I might need a kidney. You know that, Jess? Yeah, I know you can get me for a Prezi. It used to be, can I have Princess stuff, and then all of a sudden it's gone to, can I have a Fender Stratocaster or a Ford Focus? Jeez. But then again, my mum and dad did buy me a guitar for my 15th birthday, so I can't really moan, can I? Yeah, another week. Nurse practitioner working with addiction medicine. So no wonder you have to be there overnight. Must be a difficult job, but a very, very worthwhile and rewarding job, that one. There was a gas leak near the A2. The highway was closed until 9:30. Jeez. That's a proper one, isn't it? You've got to work tomorrow morning anyway, so you may as well just stay there. And the dogs are staying with your sister. That's great stuff. They'll be missing you though, won't they? Your brother-in-law's going to feed the chicken, the sheep and the donkey. Who's going to wash the ark? It's not a difficult job. Been doing it for 20 years. When I'm talking about difficult, what I mean with that is the people that you see. There must be times you think, no, there's only so much I can do for them, or it's not nice seeing people in that position. And I know that even the job that I do, or did in the past, hearing people who are absolute rock bottom is difficult at times for me. I'd always try and go up my way to make sure they were helped as much as possible, because I found that rewarding. But hearing stories from people, it's like, why are people allowed to get into this kind of position by the government? Some of them are deliberately let down. It's horrible to see. Yeah, take care of Maker. The sheep and the donkey live outside of the village with 3 wise men in a barn. Yeah, I'd say it could be a very rewarding job as well. I think anything where you're working with with needy people, any caregiving, whether you work as a nurse, in a care home, anything that you're looking after people, if you're doing sort of recovery, addiction recovery, anything like that must be really rewarding. There's I follow a couple of people on Twitter from Liverpool that deal with addiction as well. Damien John Kelly House, and they provide a halfway house for people who've got addiction problems, and they try and get them out as much as possible. So they're always going, they go for morning swims when it's freezing cold. They're always going on bike rides. They have people coming in teaching them art, so they're always painting and things like that. And seeing people who are absolute rock bottom suddenly getting themselves in a position where they're not having to rely on substances to get them through the day, but they can rely on friendships and finding their inner poet or their inner painter and things like that. It's brilliant. So anything like that where you're helping people, I think is really rewarding. Pretty sure he throws some kibble away and is done with it. Oh man. In a nursery, cough cough, yes Jess. That's also very rewarding. Working with the little ones. What are they? The little scranners. Squidgies. Definitely. Must be good as well, Jess, for you when you're turning up to work in the morning and they're waving at you through the window because they're happy to see you. as opposed from like when I come and pick you up and I'm looking at you through the window and going, get in the car now, sit down, shut up. You know. Yeah, great job. Not always thankful, but interesting. Oh, yeah, I can imagine that. Lots of different people from all walks of life. The medical heroin opioid maintenance is a bit boring, that unit. All the old patients from the 80s who were going to end their life. Oh man. So that's all you're looking at really when they're in that sort of position. They've been on it for that long, that's all they're going to know. Little swidgies, yeah, the little swidgies. The clinic unit is interesting, always something happening. It's funny, I was talking to the people in the stroke unit where I was. Sometimes you have to move around if there's like busy periods. Can you go and help on a different ward just until it all calms down? A few of them have had to go into A&E, accidents and emergency, like the ER, our version of the ER room. And they said it's nice once every 2 or 3 weeks to have to go in there, but they couldn't do it on a daily basis because it's chaos. But it's interesting to see. I can imagine stuff like that, where every day seems a little bit different, as opposed to what a lot of us have to do, going into the office and sitting down in front of the keyboard, the same thing over and over again. And instead of moaning about it, we should look for something different, shouldn't we? Go and find something that you find fulfilling and interesting. Oh, shite.
But Kipper's Vindaloo can't be good for you.
This is flying by today, isn't it?
Kippers kicks ass.
There we go. Dad goes in for gallbladder surgery and gets a vasectomy instead. A man who was planning to start a family with his new girlfriend left hospital livid after his doctors accidentally performed vasectomy on him. Jorge Baze, a 41-year-old Argentinian man, told local press how he'd gone into the state-run Florencio Diaz Hospital in Cordoba, a few hours northwest of Buenos Aires, to have his gallbladder removed last Wednesday. The mix-up is believed to have occurred because Baze's surgery was delayed by 24 hours to a day on which vasectomies rather than gallbladders were done. What? Were the authorities tipped off? I actually quite like that one, Kippers. Although it's probably better for circumcisions rather than vasectomies, but you know what I mean. Still having to get his gallbladder removed. Exactly. Did you not check on the charts? What's vasectomy day? Fuck it, just go on. Cut them all out. Yeah. Sad that there's no nursing home that wants them because they have to come to the clinic 1 to 3 times a day. Are they all on methadone and stuff? Horrible that. Yeah, it's not right, is it, Ali? Yeah, wrong stones removed. At least it's not chemical castration. Yeah, they would have dropped a bollock at that point, wouldn't they? I know it might be on different days, but do you not just check, even if it's gallbladder day, just have a look around and make sure everyone's in for gallbladder day, just in case. How's Lego? He's been in a good mood. He went hiking last Sunday and he ran straight into a lake and a mud pool. That's what we like to see. Getting back to his normal as normal as possible self as he can. Good old Lego, well in, lad. Chemical castration can at least be stopped. Yeah, good point. Lucky it's not a sex change operation. That's something's come out, hasn't it, the last couple of days where they're trying to stop sex change operations under the age of 18, and it came to mind as I was looking at this thing is, in this country you have to be 18 to get a tattoo. in case you regret it. But you can go and get your sex changed at any point. Why can you get your sex changed but you can't get a tattoo in case you regret it? Just seems so strange reading it. But that's just me, I think. Not that I'm against people getting it done, but the kids really know what they want at that stage. I don't know. More worried about him breaking his only front leg. He'll be alright, they're not daft. He'll knows what he's doing. He's sound as hell. I go. Sex change is only from 18 years old. It was below 18 over here until just this week, I think. If you wanted to get it done, you could get it done. So strange. Like I say, why is it you can get that done but you can't get a tattoo? You might regret a tattoo. What the fucking hell? What are you going to think about if at some point later on down your life, actually I made a mistake. I was actually born in the right skin. I just didn't realise it. Yeah, before it's just puberty blockers and lots of psychological support. I think there's loads of weird stuff going on at the moment. It's one of those things that I don't like to get involved in on things like Twitter and what have you, because it's the strangest conversations you've ever seen. For something that should be really nuanced, they've made it a completely binary issue. Very ironic. You're either with people or against them, and it's just, can you not see this from both sides of the argument? No. If you believe something different to me, then you are absolute scum. It's all right, well, just Foxtrot Oscar, I'm not interested. I think they're not giving out certain sex change meds. You'll have to go to clinics. So you can't just go and get them on street corners anymore. It's all a bit mad. I know I don't want to get involved in that rabbit hole, but someone who grew up in the 70s, it wasn't like it was completely unknown, but there was very few people that were going through wearing women's clothing, fellas wearing women's clothing. They used to exist. Transvestites existed. Transgender, not as much, but it used to exist. Just seems to be every other person nowadays has got something like that in their back catalogue, so to speak. It's just crazy. Where did it all come from? Why is there more people like that now? Or is it just that as a society we're more tolerant and people are feeling more empowered to come out? Is that what it is? I don't know. It's very strange. That the whole world's very strange at the moment, especially for someone as old as me. Even though I'm very much live and let live. Be chill. Like I've said before, the biggest dickheads I've ever met in my life have all been middle-aged white men. Everyone else has been okay. I haven't really had any issues with anyone. Number of regrets about sex change surgeries is way less than other large surgeries like knee replacements. Really? See, I'd never have thought of that, but bloody hell. Mad, innit? 16-year-old is the age people are allowed to make their own medical decisions without the parents being involved. I'm not sure. I think it might be the same here, but 18 is always mentioned about things as well. There are certain things you can get done when you're 16 that you can't get done until you're 18. Like, as I say, sex change operations you can decide to get done before you're 18, but you can't get tattooed. What's the energy drinks? You can't buy energy drinks until you're 16 or 17, yet you can change your gender completely. Just fucking mad. Wales gone mad, know what I mean? Like, if you have surgery there, you've got to put a cross on the right leg or arm, yourself as a failsafe. Or, if you're in Buenos Aires, put a cross a bit lower than that to make sure you're not getting bits chopped off down south. Yeah, it's all a bit mad. Just be wherever you want to be. Well, I don't really agree with all the stuff where they are only a sliver of society and yet they're making the whole of society bend and change to accommodate them. That's the one thing I'm not quite 100% sure on yet. Just seems that we don't do that for anyone else, so why all of a sudden there's just one little section of society changing everything? I don't know. Maybe I should look into it a bit more. Sex change is a medical intervention, tattoos or not. Yeah, but this is why it's like, why do you have to wait until you're 18 to get a tattoo or to change your sex, which is slightly more, I would say, profound than a tattoo. You don't have to be. It's mad. Yep. Don't care how anyone identifies, as long as you're a good person, you're okay with them. Just there are a few things I don't really like at all about it though, and it's things like there's men who are obviously men who are quite good at sport, who are not good enough at sport to win medals in the male sport, who are just suddenly deciding to identify as women. So there's no way on earth you identify as a woman. You are doing this either to prove a point or just because you like gold too fucking much. And if it starts happening in MMA or boxing or rugby, someone's going to die before they say, right, enough's enough, you can't compete in this particular sport. That's the thing I don't like. And my daughter's a 17-year-old young woman. I don't know what she feels about it, but I wouldn't be happy with just people wandering into dressing rooms who have a functioning penis, no matter what they identify as. Because just saying you identify as something doesn't necessarily mean that you do. That's the thing I've got the problem with that. It's too easy. You know what I mean? It's just all you need to do is to say it. It's happened in prisons. Fellas have said that they identify as being a woman and all of a sudden they're let loose in women's prison and they are, there you go Jackie, yeah, growth in prisoners saying they identify as women, either to protect themselves so they don't get beat up because they're not strong enough to protect themselves in a male prison, or to go in and do what they feel like, which is the one thing I'm really worried about. It started in women's sevens rugby. The difference, I know there's some bloody big and powerful women. I watch a lot of women's rugby league over here. Some really big girls, but they're not the same as your average fella. If you're born as a fella, if you transition late on in life, the strength is not the same. Definitely not the same. Bone density, muscle density, even if it starts to shrink off slightly, you've got an unnecessary advantage. I think I'd worry about that. But again, maybe I need to look into it a bit more. It's just that's how I see things at the moment. And I don't think there's enough looked into that side of it. It just seems to be a blanket. You need to accept everything they say. Why? Are we not supposed to question things? To have the sex change or hormones after puberty, trans women have a physical advantage. Yep. That's the reasons of the puberty blockers as young as possible. Yeah, there's also things like males transitioning to females will have an advantage when it comes to cycling because of the shape of the hips and the position of the hips. Women's hips are wider and the position of the legs is wider. It's obviously to have babies. So as a cyclist, a man will, or someone born as a man, will always have the advantage because of the way the body's set up. Things like that, it's all a bit mad. It was a case of a transgender player causing massive injuries to other players. There's quite a famous one on, I think it was on YouTube. It didn't look like someone who was going out of the way to look feminine or be female. It just looked like an angry man trying to smash as many women at rugby as he could. I didn't like the way that looked. It might be 100% above board, I don't know. But, I'm not involved in it. It doesn't affect me, so should I have an opinion on it? Really? I don't know. There we are, you know what I mean? And the massive decrease of depression, anxiety and suicides amongst people who had early trans treatment. Yeah, I suppose there's that side of it as well, isn't it? It's one of those, yeah, definitely one of those things where, do we all know enough about it? I mean, as a society, in the world, as a society, do we know enough about it? It's being dictated to us at the moment, so I think a few people that I've seen don't like that, being told what to do. They don't like anything being told what to do, whether it's taking vaccines or driving at 70 mile an hour or anything. They just don't seem to like it, but I don't know. It's a veritable minefield, isn't it? Yeah, rugby's too dangerous for that. Definitely too dangerous. Boxing, they're trying to talk about boxing. No, definitely. You see people like Clarissa Shields, the greatest woman boxer of all time. You put her in with just a small hall boxer, male small hall boxer, and he would destroy her. It's just, the physical advantages are just too much. It's not the same as driving a car or anything like that. You know, you don't need the physical advantages to drive a car. But things like that, boxing and rugby and things, I wouldn't like to see that. I don't like to see it, rather. Yeah, man, you try not to prejudge anyone. Wait until they show the true colours and then form your opinion. Best way to do it. Don't jump to opinions too early. Oh, hang on. Jinxie, lad, Jinxie. Oh, Jeff,
It's
let me
going
do
up,
this.
it's going up, it's going up, it's going up, it's going up, it's there.
Leveled up, brilliant. Muy bueno. We are learning, but people often have a difficult time adapting to new knowledge, especially if it's complicated and doesn't fit in a black and white box, which this definitely doesn't, yeah. I remember the Spanish basketball team who were trans-mental capacity and won gold at the Special Olympics. I didn't see that. But there's a hell of a lot of stuff going on. We haven't heard the end of it. Bloody hell, we are flying by tonight, aren't we? So very quickly. Let's see what H has been up to. Nick thinks he's a star. YouTube's Billy Big Bollocks. I'm the real alpha.
It's going up, 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 it's there.
Really? Really? Is that what you think, Horace, do you? I don't think I'm Billy Big Bollocks. And I certainly don't think you're the alpha. Did Jeff stop by? Jeff stopped earlier on, yes. Even he was late though. He did. Jeff has been a daredevil bike rider. What else has he been? A stand-up comedian. Can't remember what was the other one. Oh yeah, and he's been smashing down children's hospitals with a digger, and not remotely happy with protesters apparently, according to his last 3 pictures. Nick is right. I'm not sure he is right, to be honest. I don't think Horace is right either. Jeff will be having a word about the alpha male, definitely. Oh, the Spanish team pretended to have mental deficiencies and beat everyone to win gold. Bloody Spanish. It was a massive scandal. Yep, Billy Big Bollocks. I don't get cheating in sport. I don't get cheating in anything, to be honest. What good are you doing? Genuinely, what good are you doing? What are you proving? I'm the best boxer in the world, but you've just jabbed yourself full of steroids and things. How does that make you the best in the world? You know, it's just daft. Medals at all costs it's not sport. How'd they get away with it? By the sound of it, have they got away with it, or or they didn't? By the sound of it, yeah. It's one of the issues with self-identification, I suppose, isn't it? I identify as something. Prove me wrong. Crazy. Things will change. Or maybe they won't. Once millennials start getting a bit older, will they change? Will they stop having problems with absolutely everything in the world? Will they stop having, or trying to have the world bend to their will, and stop being offended by absolutely everything? I say this as a Gen Xer. We just got on with stuff. Never moaned about anything. He says, moaning on a stream. Yeah, identifying as a mental deficiency is not a thing, it's just plain cheating. That seems to happen a lot in sports. Is there a new enhanced games as well now? Someone was talking about that, weren't they? Recently in the papers, I'm sure it was. Someone was going to put together a sort of an Olympics for drug cheats. You can take whatever you feel like, see how fast you can run. Tommy Tiernan did a great routine about that. You should have the Drug Olympics, where you don't represent a country, you represent a pharmaceutical company. That'd be brilliant. What did he say? Viagra team embarrassed in relay mix-up. Prozac come last in the marathon, but feeling fairly upbeat about it. Tommy Tiernan, fantastic. Yeah, you want to run at 100 mile an hour, let them. I want to see them slow down for the bendy bit. I like that. You identify as a middle-aged, sweaty, sweary, lazy shit. Solidarity, sister. Although I'm not too sweaty at the moment. But both windows open. Massive lights on me, obviously. You know, obviously. The star has to have lights on him. Horace. Wanker. Yeah, that's helped, definitely. And having a fan on the back of the camera seems to have helped. But I am going to find out why YouTube's been an absolute knob about stream bit rates. Not having it. Or do I need to stop going through Restream and just do it directly to YouTube? I was hoping to try and get back on Twitch next week, but nah. Yeah, I remember watching the Paralympics when it was like a sports day at Stoke Mandeville. It used to be like that, didn't it? As an afterthought, like 20 minutes of a few different sports. Now all of a sudden, the Paralympics is not just, well, I'm going to say not as big as the regular Olympics, but it's not far off. It's just as big a TV and sort of, I don't know, event. Drugs and sport is no jokes. Someone said that when you were doing drugs, they couldn't even find the bike. Then you're praising Lance Armstrong. That, I love cycling, but that is just an absolute farce, cycling. There can't be a single person in there who's not drinking monkey placenta of a morning. It's absolutely crazy. No one's old on here. We're all youthful, full of vim and vigour. Although I shouldn't say full of vim, should I? To anyone who speaks Dutch. With Vim being a particularly popular Dutch male name back when I was living there anyway. If you're full of Vim, that's something completely different. If life was a video game, you're on level 57. That's nothing. In fact, I was talking to Jess about this in the car last week, I think it was. So, I'll be 51 in April. And when I was a kid, there was people of my age at that point, 51, who looked like pensioners. I look around now, there's people of pension age who look young. It's all part of it's in the brain, I think. Miguel Indurain had such big lungs it displaced most of his stomach cavity. He was a fantastic rider, but I think, again, they're strange bike riders, especially if they're all constantly juiced up. You feel it at times, Jackie, your achy bones. Oh. You're feeling the benefits of training. You feel it in the backs of your legs, but it's not bad pain. Right, not many people understand that. It's not a bad pain. I do completely. I used to play footy on a Thursday night, and on Saturday mornings, I could barely walk, and I was in agony. And people say, why don't you give up playing footy? What? I'd miss it. I'd hate not feeling like this. It's a good pain. It's the kind of pain that tells me I've worked hard. I've put the effort in, and it's doing me well. Vim is sort of old school now. Don't know anyone under 40 with that name. Yep. When we were there was lots of Vims. Lots of them. Footballers especially. So if you were full of Vim, it would be an Isle boy. Jackie, you're level 55. Yep, you're winning. The sweaty Olympics. I'd pay to watch that. I'm sure if you go to the right places, you can watch the sweaty Olympics. You can pay for that. Wait till you run a long run and your legs start aching. I start acting like a sewing machine. Ugh, man. It's just like throbbing, but not painful. I know the sensation. The footy was slightly different, I think, at times, because not only were you running, people were killing you as well. Vim is a kitchen cleaner, yep. We had that over here as well, Vim, didn't we? Scourer, Vim Scourer, which does sound like a Dutch left back, I think that. Fantastic ball by Vim Scourer. Hedwig, you might be a masochist, but muscle ache is the only pain that feels good. It does. Genuinely, I think it's psychosomatic as well. It's mental. That thing in your brain where it's telling you, I'm only doing this to reward you for putting the effort in. Even though it might hurt a little bit, it's showing you how much I care about you. You've put the effort in, I'm going to show you how much I care. Your body's doing that to you. No long runs, you just jog slowly. You're doing better than I am, Ali. Doing much better than I am. Right, good question, Saf, everyone. If you had to compete in an Olympic sport, but all you had to do is not finish last, what would it be? I would have to do something where I could do it one-handed, so... I don't know, what could I do one-handed where I wouldn't finish last? Don't know. Bowls, crown green bowls. That might be one, I don't know. Don't think I'm good enough to do anything else. Fencing I could do one-handed, couldn't you? I'd have to pin my other arm behind my back so it didn't flop around the front like a dickhead, but yeah. Good question. Vim smelt lovely. He did. He did indeed, Jackie. Yeah, you don't have to win, just not finish last. Does korfball still count as Olympics? It was in 1928 or so. I think that's been replaced now, hasn't it? I think basketball, female basketball and male basketball have replaced. I think female basketball didn't that replace netball, which I think would have replaced korfball. Don't know. Walking fast in Olympic sport, it is. That fast walk, that one where you look like you shit yourself. Table tennis, but it depends who else is playing. I think that's. You would have to be up against someone who you could beat. Someone from another country you could beat. Someone one-handed. Yeah, I'll play you. How's that? England versus Wales for the the Olympic wooden spoon. There you go. Loser ends up on the scrap heap. Fencing, yeah, Jackie, yeah. Fencing. It's as close to ring dinking as I can manage. I can't get on a horse, I can't joust, but I could possibly fence. A little bit of touche. I could grow a little pervy moustache, a little David Niven. I think that would work, wouldn't it? Current Olympic sports. I'll let you get the fast walker go. Jackie, you'd probably be able to do the fast walk, couldn't you? Just get someone behind you with a sash and a drum. Off down the road. So if you put up a good fight in table tennis, you've only got provincial colours. You're going to not finish last, that'll do. Is golf an Olympic sport? Is it this time round? Yeah. Try not to be last, yeah. Man, the Winter Olympics, you could be the middle guy in a toboggany thing. Oof. You want to be in the middle, do you? How about we merge this stream with the one from last week? Toboggan dogging. The new winter sport. Todogging. Archery. Couldn't quite manage it. Jackie, you look a sight. No, you wouldn't. You look fantastic. Giving it loads. Running down the Shankill Road. Mandy, you could do archery. That worries me. Remind me not to piss you off. I don't want to drive by archering. Cool runnings. Very cool runnings. Race walkers do 5 minutes per kilometre, do they? That's proper. Isn't breakdancing new this year? Duck, Jeff, yes, we know. Drive-by dogging, yeah. Could you do a drive-by? I suppose. Isn't all dogging drive-by? By its nature. I don't know. I seem to bring that up far too often, don't I? It's like I'm repressed or something. A frustrated dogger. I can't find my lead. Or my leash. That's not why I'm pissed off I can't find my car, by the way, before anyone starts worrying. Poetry and sculpting were in the first modern Olympics. Right, there we go. Poetry. That's me done. I'll be on the podium for that. Mind you, the original Olympics, there was also, the wrestling was all done naked and oiled up, wasn't it? Or was that in the Devonish in Belfast? Am I getting them too mixed up? Yeah, how's everything with your etching? We're itching to know. How do we go for dog sledging? Right, you would win. Never mind not finishing last. You'd win at that, definitely. We should have an RDA Olympics. Everyone should pick their sport, whether it's a real one or a made-up one or anything in between. We should all have that. Definitely doing that. Money can go for freestyle knitting. You'd win that one. You easily get a gold. How do we get the dog sledging? And I could go for oiled up naked poetry. Or have I just mixed two things together there? Take Arvin with you, yeah. Lego on the back, shouting you're on. All the ancient Greek sports were done naked, even the sprints. Yeah, they're a little bit dodgy, aren't they, the Greeks, in that way? Or just there's no way of cheating. If you're completely naked and greased up, you can't cheat, can you? She'd be class. Just get a heart attack whenever she's a deer beside the roads. Yeah. Could you imagine everyone naked? Try not to unless I get nervous on screen. Does that work has anyone ever done that? Does it actually work? Like when you're having to give a presentation or something, imagine everyone naked and you don't get nervous. Never had to do that. Women weren't allowed to compete. I'm not surprised, because otherwise all the men would be doing was pole vault. And that's no good. Yeah, spectator hazards were having their eyes taken out on the sprints, definitely. And the 4x100 metres relay would have been very, very interesting. Things could have really got out of hand. Oiled Up Naked Poetry, is that what my OnlyFans get? Subscribe and find out, Mandy. No freebies, no freebies. That's just every Saturday in the sauna. Yeah. Without the sports. Do people play any kind of sports in the sauna? You know, is there any chess goes on in there? What the sport could you play in there? Naked poker? No, no poker when there's a hot flame involved. We don't want that. Show to a nice moody blue in the background now. Or there you go, a little bit of Jeffy Red in the background. You're not wearing anything in the sauna. Don't forget, us in the UK and Ireland, we are very, very reticent to be naked in front of other people, including people that we're married to. The rest of Europe don't see it as a problem. We do. Very repressed people. Extreme knitting and ironing. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen the ironing. Extreme ironing. Is there extreme knitting as well? If there is, we need to check that out. Jinxie, you wear a bathing suit? Yep. Ali, you've got a song for me to check out. On Fucker Isle by Richie Kavanagh. Have I said that wrong, or have I absolutely obliterated it, or have I got it right? Let's have a look. I'll take a pic of that. I'll give that a go, lah. Not even a cloth to cover your naughty bits. Anything south of us, you don't do the naked sauna either. Yes, it's very seems very northern Europe. To be honest, I think the Netherlands seems further south than I was expecting. I know Scandinavia don't seem to bother about it. Yeah. But the Dutch, even when we lived there, it seemed to be quite chilled about stuff like that. You're not knitting on a mountain? Mandy, what? You don't fancy travelling up Aruri? I keep getting that wrong, don't I? I can't. I struggle with English, never mind bloody Welsh and Irish. A lady once knitted a cardigan while running a 42.2 kilometre marathon and raised money for charity. What? That's got to be the longest scarf in history. Even Tom Baker wouldn't wear that. Ein fuckalella. Easy for you to say. You could cover up if you'd like to, but people would be suspicious as to why you'd be covering it. Scandinavia don't mix genders in public saunas. It says saunas. I got genders and saunas mixed up and came up with saunas. Is that where the name came from? Yeah, that's why size matters. It's more of a Dutch and German thing. Just getting in there and getting it done. Yeah, I've had this before, haven't I, about surnames, where they come from. If you family were barrel makers, your surname's Cooper. If they made bread, your surname's Baker. Is that where Saunders come from? And if that's the case, where did the surname Rimmer come from? Looking at you, Arnold. Your 42.2 kilometre ritual is a cigarette at the start, one at 22 kilometres, and one just after finishing. My marathon ritual is get on the sofa, make a cup of tea, get on the sofa, watch it on TV, and eat as much food as possible. Not a chance you'd be getting me running around. Jinxie, you'd stare. Yes. We're not surprised. We are not surprised in the slightest. Because we're not used to it. I think that's the main thing. We're just not used to it. Would you stare, or would you let out a girly shriek and go, "Ah, look, Willie"? You know. I don't know. And it's down to cultural differences. They're used to it. We're not. We are definitely not used to stuff like that. I've only been naked in a hot tub once. I got kicked out of B&Q that day. Not allowed back in now. You'd forget to stare in 15 minutes, yep. Also, it'd be rude to stare, just as in everyday life, yep. You might glance, but 99% of people are no Dutzer Kroes or Chris Hemsworth, so you wouldn't be checking it out constantly. Yeah, it's not really that exciting when you can actually see people's bodies. Does it sort of all the mystique goes at that point? I can imagine that. Wow, look at her, she's absolute knockout. I was in the shower with it, or so I was in the sauna with her the other week. Nothing special, mate. And vice versa. He looks great in that suit. He looks a mess when he's out of it. Lots of wrinkles, spots, grey hairs, fat, skinniness, missing limbs or stomas, yeah. Saf, you are out, no worries, mate. Up again in 3 hours for your morning meal before you start fasting. Fair play to you, mate. Have a good sleep if you can. And good luck for tomorrow. Stay safe and be good. Imagine fancying someone and meeting them in a sauna. Yeah. It would either be love at very, very first sight, or you'd never speak to them again. Yeah, man, you'd rather leave some things to the imagination. You don't want it all up in your grill, as the kids say. Yeah, that's why dating in a sauna is not a thing. It wasn't a thing. I am pretty sure at some point in the UK, Channel 5 will have sauna dating on TV. That's the kind of shit that we do. First dates in a sauna. It's going to have to happen. If you don't make it, Sky will. Jackie, you've got a rather good imagination. Should you be telling us that? Do we need to worry about that? Do I need to worry about that being on screen? Jeez, what am I up to now? Got me worried. I often think about whether people stumble across this and think, what on earth are they talking about? Or did he watch it and think, I didn't realise these things existed? Drive-by dogging, you know. Must learn so much. You have to. Life can be too dull. Life can be dull. Yep. No need for OnlyFans. Mandy gets me. OnlyFans. Never mind selling it, can't even give it away. I suppose you know what you're getting now. You would do, wouldn't you? Would that be a good thing or a bad thing, though? That's the whole point, isn't it? As you say, maybe keep that little bit of a suspense for whichever night it happens. I don't know. We'd have to ask someone who's met in a sauna. Is that a thing? Sauna meetups. Has anyone ever seen each other in a sauna and thought, yeah, let's get it on, let's get it on? Probably not. Like you say, probably see each other in a sauna and think, no, I know too much. Even going to a restaurant together on your first date and sitting opposite them thinking, oh no, I know too much. I have seen you sweating like a pig. Must be horrible. Anyway, we've got on too long again yet, haven't we? Yeah. Wanging on for ages. That's flown by today, hasn't it? Absolutely flown by. Ali, I have, thinking about it, have I had ginger nut biscuits with butter on them? It sounds very familiar from my past. I think I might have done in the past. Why would people pay for OnlyFans? It's madness. It is, but it seems to be exceptionally popular. Bizarrely popular. I've got a lot of mutuals on Twitter who, during lockdown, lots of the females suddenly decided to start OnlyFans. I mean, obviously they're all pretty young single women, so it's up to them what they want to do. But it seemed to be proper. Loads of them are making a decent amount of money out of it. So there must be an audience out there for that, depending on what you look like, I suppose. Seen lots of people you know in the sauna, friends, family, colleagues, patients and teachers. How do we? Yes. Nah. The friends and family usually on purpose. You're meeting up with them, the others by accident. Mad. We're just not used to it. It's such an alien concept to us, I think. And I will throw in Ireland with the UK on this as this one little lump of repressed mass on the outskirts of Europe, which is not for us at all, is it? You just say hi and move on. Don't think I'd like to be seeing me teachers. Especially when they say to you, you need to stay behind for detention. No. Don't give me that. Do not give me that. Yeah, second nature to you. For us, it is, nah, not having it. I think you've been going since you were 12 or so. It's natural for you. If that's what you've been used to doing, and as a society, a country society, that's what you're used to. Yeah, it's just what you're used to at all. We aren't. Exactly, you'd leave the sauna, the county, the country. Yes, I've moved to Brazil. Sorry, I can't come round. I've moved to Mozambique, mate. Even trying to imagine it, you can't. Ali, the same, absolutely the same. Yeah, you didn't have to get used to it, Adi. It was just something that you did. Once you're used to it, you don't think anything of it, do you? Man, it was weird enough meeting a friend's mum at a party and a man seeing her naked. Yep. It used to be, didn't it? Back in the day. Before people started going around to each other's houses as much as they do nowadays. When you bumped into people and met the parents. And when they introduced themselves by their first name. No, you're not. You're John's mum. Yeah, I know. You know, I'm Betty. I'm John's mum. No, you're not Betty. You're John's mum. You can call me Betty. All right, Betty. When you call me, you can call me Al. Brazil's not very prudish either. No, Brazil seems to be. I shouldn't have mentioned them, should I? They seem to be very. It must be the rhythms, I think, the rhythms of the music. Can you imagine the therapy you'd need seeing your family naked in the sauna? Playing footy, you do have a tendency to see loads of other men naked, which is bad enough. Yeah. It's alright until they start flossing themselves dry with the towel, doing the undercarriage pass. No one needs to see that. Yeah, you don't tend to see a direct family naked too often here anyway. Bathrooms get closed and locked for stuff like that. We are a very, very repressed nation. Or a very repressed set of nations. When I say we are, I am including Ireland, definitely. Different countries, same people. Absolutely, when it comes to that. Yep, showering after PE class at primary school. We don't do that over here, I don't think. Not in primary, anyway. It used to happen in secondary school. But yeah, definitely not primary. I suppose during the 70s, when I was a primary school kid, there was too many nonces around, so you couldn't do that kind of thing anyway. Definitely not a thing over there, not over here. No. Ow. My back's just made a mad noise. So I think that's about time for me to disappear, I think. Now that I'm making clicking noises all over. My hand started tremoring yet again. This has been, as always, fascinating. I'm not sure where else you're going to get this kind of chat, what other kind of streams you get this on. Possibly only within other streams within the community, and it is all down to the people. Marvellous. Didn't shower in primary school. We had PE classes, we never showered. Wasn't allowed. Kids didn't sweat unless they were on top of the pops that night. Yep. So I'm going to have to say ta-ra. Get Sundays set up as soon as possible. And then, of course, until then, if Jeff allows me to press buttons.
That's all we've got time for this evening, so it's good night from me. And it's good night from him. Good night. Good night.
And that is that.
Booyah!